Hey, what is up? It's me, Terry. Great to have you here for another T11. Good to see you. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. I'm supposed to say that. I think it's the rule. I don't think they let you on YouTube if you don't say, hey, pound that like button and hit that subscribe button. I'm too old for that shit. All right? Although it is nice to have people that look at YouTube. Very few of you watch on YouTube. I mean, I understand. Who wants to see a dude sitting in a room talking? Seriously, it's not like I got a song and dance or donkey show or anything here. It's just me sitting here talking. More and more people are listening, downloading it and listening as a podcast. And I do appreciate the growth of this. It's a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Definitely appreciate you. All right, let's see here. How do I want to start? As you can tell, it is sunny here in Seattle, which it's a beautiful, mild day. I tried to open up this little curtain thing behind me, but the sun came in too hard. That's why I need to start doing these shows at night. It's just that time of year in Seattle where it gets dark at about, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, sometimes close to 11 later on in the summer. So I got to find a time to record these. I like doing them at night anyway. But anyway, I'm just talking off the top of my head here. Hi, nice to see you again. Let's start the show today with, I believe, a valuable tip for those of you people that are in the dating world. Take it from a guy who's been married going on almost 31 years now. It'll be 31 years in May. That's next month, isn't it? Yeah, 31 years. Wow. Here's what you need to do. Say you're having a one-night stand. Didn't have many of those personally, but you know what? They sound fun, don't they? Say you had a one-night stand and you can't remember the person's name in the morning. This is just a pro tip. Take them to Starbucks the next morning. Take them to Starbucks and just, tell them what their name of the coffee is, and they'll butcher it, but still you'll get close to what the name is and you won't feel so stupid. Immediately go to Starbucks if you don't remember somebody's name in the morning. Okay. All right. So, I've decided that I want to start adding up some of the smaller wins in my life. If you've listened to the show in the past, you know that I have a real hope and dream in my life. And it's probably one that will maybe never happen until I come to terms with this, is that I'm looking for defining moments in my life, something big. When I see somebody celebrating something huge, I get very emotional about it. I get so happy for them. And then I get a little sad because I don't feel that I've ever had that moment in my life. But if you really look back at it, I'm sure many people would argue, Terry, you've had some great moments in your life. And I have had some fantastic moments in my life. Maybe it's just a mental thing that I'm working on right now. But I decided the only way to get better at this is to notice the wins in your week, whether they're big or small. And I think if you notice the smaller ones first, it's going to train you to start thinking that way, to start thinking your life is abundant. So I've decided that I'm going to try to add up some of my little wins here. Like my top 3 wins of last week were, let's see, I counted them. I got to play with 3 dogs, not just pet them. I got to play with them. They weren't my dogs. 2 of them were golden retrievers, which even makes it better. And the other one was like a dog, just something, but I got to play with them. That is a win because I don't have to feed them. I don't have to cry when they die. I don't have to pick up their poop. I don't have to do any of that. I just get to scratch them and play with them. And I get that feeling in my body that I love dogs. One day, maybe I will get one, but right now I'm not in the business of that. So I consider that a win. I got to actually sit down and play with 3 dogs this last week. So that's a win. We are getting ready to, another one is we're getting ready to possibly sell the home, put it up for sale. And part of doing that is, getting rid of a lot of stuff in your cabinets. You don't want people that coming over looking at your house going, God, these people don't have any room for anything. You want it to look like it's more spacious than it truly is. I've seen HD TV. I know how this stuff works. So part of that is cleaning out our cupboard. And I went to Costco one time and I bought a bunch of those, not Kraft macaroni and cheese. I think they're like Amy, because, I like the organic macaroni and cheese. The organic powder that you put on the thing. So we bought some, and it was like, I don't know, like 50 boxes of it. You know, it's Costco, 50 boxes of it. I am now down to two more boxes. Two more boxes. I've been eating them. This is fantastic. And then they're all gone. That is a win. That is a win for me right there. I made it through that. I battled. I macked my ass out. I did it. So I battled that. And another win for me is I don't believe I hurt myself last week. I'm at that age where it seems like I can pull a hamstring in my sleep. Weird things like that going on. So that is a win as well. That is an absolute win. This is a win right now. I'm sitting here at my place doing a podcast. Off to my right is the Dodger game. The Dodgers are playing Washington right now. Washington's got runners on the corners, 2 outs, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, go Dodgers. So, yeah. One of the comments I've been getting lately about the podcast, a lot of talk about the aging thing, which is really weird. And I guess maybe it makes sense, which I'll get into that here in a second. But I've been working on that, not living in my past. I want to live more in the present. And I do. I reminisce about a lot of things. It's fun to look back and share stories and whatnot, but I don't feel that I'm creating many new stories in my life. So I want to get rid of that living in the past thing. And then I started to hit me that you don't really, you don't really live in the past when you're still thinking that you have a future. And I find myself thinking more about my past and less about my future. So that might even be a quote. I made that shit up right there. You can't live in your past when you're thinking about that you still have a future or something like that. You can make it nicer and post it. You could steal it, act like it's yours. So yeah, when you really think of it, we only really have the now. And I don't want to be one of those stereotypical guys, you only at the moment, but I think I'm going to go down that line right this second because it's really hitting me hard. Because like I said, this show is basically turning into almost like a good source for people who really think that they're aging. And aging could be at any point in your life. You could have just hit your 30s and you're going, oh my God, I really better get my stuff together. So it's very relative to who you are and where you are in your life, the aging. I don't think there's a chronological number that you have to shoot for that you're officially aging. You're only aging as much as you feel for the most part. And excuse me, I need to take a drink of this water. I have to. I'm so thirsty. Anyway. So this show, and I think I don't have a problem with it. It's kind of turning into a place where people are meeting that are stressed out about, getting a little older. And it hit me just a moment ago. I went down to check the mail, and this guy comes walking around the corner, probably 30 years old, walking around the corner, and we almost bump into each other. And he said, "Oh, excuse me, sir." And this wasn't like he meant it. He meant the sir. He saw me for a brief second. It registered in his mind, old fuck. And he meant the sir. I've had people say, thank you, sir. Thank you. At the store or something. This guy was, excuse me, sir, a properly raised 30-year-old boy, man, whatever they are, 30. Excuse me, sir. Oh, God, it hit hard. It hit hard. So coming about up here, I'm thinking about what do I want to talk about on the podcast. I'm just going to go ahead and lean into this thing because I think that's what we really need to do. I think we really need to lean into all this. This being somewhat of a podcast for people that are concerned about aging, it's not intentional. It's just where I am in my life right now. So you talk about things like that, but time definitely flew by. It has flown by. And I'm here to tell you, if you think you have time, no matter what age you are, if you think you have time, you don't really have time. When you really think about the facts, you do not have time. So if you want to write a book, if you want to travel, if you want to be more with loved ones, if you want to be the best parent out there, if you want to paint, if you want to do anything like that, I suggest you lean into that hard. You lean into it right this second. Right this second. I hate to be one of those people. I know that I'm not covering any groundbreaking territory here, But there has to be a way to do this. It's time to overcome, no matter what age you are, it's time to overcome what you perceive aging is. And it's time to beat it. It's time to beat it because when you really think of it, all we really have is this moment right now. That is true. That is a fact. No matter what age you are right now, this is the time you have right this second. You do not know what's going to happen 1 minute from now. The past is the past. The future is a dream. All we really are guaranteed is right now. That is a fact. So if you start thinking about it, you know, you want to I don't want us to sound like it's morbid or anything like that, because I think these should be enjoyable moments. If you could get into a state of mind where you go, this might be the last time I ever have lunch with my friend. Something may happen to them. Something may happen to me. Who knows? It's not guaranteed. This may be the last time I have lunch with him or her or whatever. This may be my last time I ever eat at McDonald's. Oh, how I love McDonald's. I love a good Big Mac, you know? Sometimes I crave those, especially the fries, and their sodas are the best. Maybe the last time you ever had McDonald's. The last time you went may have been the last time. Something may happen to you now and you didn't enjoy it. You just shoved that shit in your mouth. You got to start enjoying it. But how do you do that? How do you do that? That's what I'm going to try working on. I'm going to talk to some experts. I'm going to figure some stuff out, and I'm going to report back to you. That's for sure. Okay. Because that is a fact. All we have is right this second. It sounds really horrible. And then I started to think, what if everybody felt that way? What if everybody lived their life knowing that this is all we have right now? What if we were all able to do that? How would we treat each other? Would we be kinder? I don't know. And these are just questions I'm posing. These are questions I have in my mind. If we all just thought that way, would we be reckless and go, that's it. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to do all the drugs. I'm going to do this. I'm going to rob a bank because I wanted to see what it felt like. You know, some people would go down that road. I don't think most people would. I don't think most people would. It's not like you've been told you have 2 seconds left. I mean, you still have to live for, you know, with what you've done in the past and things like that, or what you're doing right now. So, but if everybody felt that way, if everybody was just a little kinder, I think they would be a little kinder to one another. I really do. I think we would make different choices in our life. Saying, well, you know, how do I want to spend my weekend? Do I want to go out and drink with my buddies, which is perfectly fine? Or do I want to spend time with my kids or my wife or something like that? Do I want to spend it doing something that I love, a habit that I love? But I truly wonder how we would treat each other if this fact is a fact. All we have is right now. I think one thing's for sure certain is that maybe we would finally just put down our cell phones at least. I think it would change that a little bit. But yeah, that's what I was, you know, that's kind of what's been on my mind. You know, I just, if you have any thoughts on it, please leave. Do you think it's possible? Do you think that living in that frame of mind all the time, or to at least shoot for it, at least remind yourself, man, this might be the last time I see my mom. I've seen this one guy, forget what his name is. And he has a podcast, and he's married to the woman that created Spanx, who I love. I'm trying to remember, Jesse is his name. And he has that. He goes, how many times a year do you see your parents? How many times a year do you see your parents? Think about it. Okay. Say you see your parents twice a year. Christmas, maybe an anniversary, something like that. Maybe you see them twice a year, and that's a lucky thing. Most people see them once every couple years or whatever. You know, when you get older, you get things like that. And then you start looking at their age, you start doing like this. You may truly only see your parents just due to natural causes of death. You may only get an opportunity to see them just a few more times in your life. And if you look at it that way, and not in a scary, oh my God moment, I think we're going to make better decisions in our life. I think we will. You just never know. So I'm going to try to remind myself all this type of stuff. I'm going to try to remind myself that all we got is this second. Truly all we got. But if you have any ideas or thoughts, or if you think it's possible, or how do you think we would treat one another? Would people just go bat crap crazy and blow things up? Don't make it political. Please, people, please don't make this political. I know some people will out there is, it's the first thing they reach for in their bag of tricks. Don't make it political. We're wasting our time on that. That's a whole nother podcast. Anyway, guys, I will be back on Thursday. I promise I will be back on Thursday. I'm going to keep looking for some small wins, try to make them add up into bigger wins, try to make that part of my life. But I really want to make my choices of the now much more important. And I want to live in the now. Like I said, put down that cell phone. Enjoy your last time at McDonald's. It may be that. I know it sounds horrible. Or, hey, if you knew that it was only this was your last lunch, maybe you wouldn't choose McDonald's, Anyway, guys, it's good to be here. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I really, truly do appreciate you. Thanks, guys.